Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Hey, y'all. And by y'all, I mean me, because no one else is watching this. I thought this would be easier because I talk to myself all the time. But it's not. Like my hair. I did it yesterday, and I kind of hate it, and I fucked up my middle part. Look at this. Anyways, I'm filming this on my phone. I read a book. It's spooky month, and if there's one thing that's spookier than ghosts and monsters and Halloween, it's depression. So I read this. All the Right Places by Jennifer Neven. A couple days ago I was reading this, like 2 a.m. and I thought to myself, what if I talked about it on YouTube? So that's what I'm gonna do. And when I do my makeup while I do it, because no one's ever done that before. No one's ever read a book and talked about their book while doing their makeup. I am an original thinker. I am the thinker. This is a lot harder. I'm completely raw dogging this. I have no script. I have a couple notes, and that's it. Don't fucking judge me. Shit. Fuck. I forgot my grapes. Hold on. Okay. Green grapes are the best grapes. Shh. Don't play with me. This yummy mug is for... Our story begins with Violet, Marky, and... what the fuck is his name? Theodore Finch. Like the rest of us, they're depressed. Have you guys noticed that? Well, by you guys, I mean me. I noticed it. Everyone's depressed, including myself. Not like, oh, I got a math test on Thursday, depressed. It's like they're in the trenches.
Yeah, but there's people that are dying.
Full-on existentialism. Who's a famous philosopher? William James found dead in a ditch. Moral William James in the story. Violet is a cheeky little girl who happens to have a sister who died in a car crash. And Violet was in the car crash. And so she kind of has this like survivor's guilt kind of thing going on. She contemplates life and death like the rest of us. Theodore Finch, hereby known as Finch, is also depressed because his life just sucks. We'll learn more about that later. And they end up meeting on a tower, which is really fun. They're at their school and they are both thinking about jumping. Theodore actually ends up talking Violet down from jumping because he can see that she's scared, and also he is feeling like a little bit of a love at first sight kind of thing. Like he's like, damn, this girl's fine. But the thing is, people noticed that they were there on the tower. They could see them. When people saw Theodore, they were like, ah, who cares? It's just Finch. That's what he always does. But when they saw Violet, they're like, no, don't die, you're so sexy, don't. They kind of had the idea that Violet was the one who talked down Theodore, when it was really the reverse.
Psych, bitch!
If you can't see it, it's because you're blind. I can see it, and it looks amazing. I'll be an 8-year-old the way I put on so much blush. Can y'all tell I'm emo? I'm not, but we love emo people. One of the first things I wrote down is that they use Facebook, and for some reason that pisses me off because I hate Facebook. I'm a hater. I'm a certified hater. People who use Facebook are old. If you use Facebook, you're old. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. What can I say? They text through Facebook. But then Violet stops texting him on Facebook because he's annoying. Then he goes and he looks her up on the internet, like a certified stalker that he is.
FBI, open up!
He finds that Violet and her dead sister, Eleanor, had a website. That's actually crazy. Imagine having a good relationship with your sisters. Couldn't be me. He basically stalks her account, and I think that's weird. That's all I have to say about it. Moving on. A few days later, Theodore is talking to... What do I call him Theodore? He's called Finch in the book, but I call him Theodore. Leave me alone. Theodore's talking to Violet. He's like, where do you want to go? You know? What do you want to do with your life? And she's like, I don't fucking know, man. This is a quote. What you want to know where I'd go if I could? Not really, I think. Where would you go if you could go anywhere? comes out bitchier than I meant it to. And that's me. Violet doesn't like going out, and she doesn't like talking to people. And even though my sister didn't die, that's me. I hate people. Very much. That's all I have to say about that. So then, Violet doesn't really like Theodore that much because he's annoying. But I love Theodore, honestly. He stalks her account, and I think that's weird. Like, he is my spirit animal. How he thinks and how he feels and how he acts. Well, maybe not how he acts, but you know what I mean. He tries to be like a bad boy for Violet, because he has this whole thing where he's on probation. He just kind of acts out, and so he goes and tries to be a good guy so that he doesn't get expelled. But then once he sees Violet, he's like, oh, she likes bad boys. So then he puts on a leather jacket and some big boots, and he's like, bam.
I'm a bad boy.
This is a quote. 5 minutes later, Finch breezes in. Same black shirt, same black jeans, backpack one over one shoulder, books and notebooks and thrashed leather jacket under his arm. Things are spilling everywhere, and he retrieves keys and pens and cigarettes before giving Mr. Black a little salute. I look at him and think, this is the person who knows your worst secret.
So, you want to be a bad boy, eh?
Like, Violet, shut up. Shut up. Like, please. Just a little note I wrote. I'm 100 pages in, and Violet has the personality of a freshly molded brick that got cast away and was too weak to hold up a house. She is funny, though, with her deadpan expressions. I can't blame her. Also, this book has good character dialogue. I can appreciate that. I really love books that have an emphasis on characters and how they interact with each other more than plot. But I find that happens a lot in these books, where the main character is very smart. She's not like other girls. Just like me. And Violet reads books. She likes to write books. And she doesn't do things that other girls do. She doesn't go to parties, no. She reads books. That's Violet. And her name's Violet. So that's how you know she's not like other girls. And she wears her dead sister glasses. Other girls don't do that. Violet's different. There's these other characters in this book named Ryan and Romer. And Romer has like a tendency to make fun of Finch because I think they were friends, but something happened. And so Romer makes fun of Finch. And then Ryan is Violet's ex-boyfriend. And so he still wants Violet.
I love you, bitch.
Oh my god.
I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch.
They broke up because Violet was like emotionally unavailable. Up until this point, I thought they were the same person. Even though Violet is kind of like giving him the incentive to like care about her because she still like kisses him and which go off queen and do what you want to do. I support women's wrongs and rights. It pisses me off. Why do all these men in these books feel entitled to a main character?
I'm just kidding.
They're like, she's mine. I don't want other guys being around you.
My life into pieces.
It's attractive in some books, but not in YA books about depression. That's me. At this point, Violet and Finch are assigned to be in a project together. Their geography class, which who takes geography in grade 12? Geography is required for grade 9 and that's it. And then there's like history. What class are y'all taking? What are y'all Americans doing?
Let's go.
Finch has this whole thing about being awake. And that's basically where he's in a state where he's not fully conscious of what he's doing. Kind of jumps between phases of being awake and being asleep.
Yeah, this is my room.
Could you find a way to let me down?
No bed? No, I don't sleep.
And right now he's in his awake phase, and he's trying to think of things to keep him awake. And so one of his things is Violet. And that pisses me off. First of all, because they just met.
Fine. You can't marry a man you just met. You can if it's true love.
And other thing is, using someone to give you motivation to be alive is awful. First of all, on the person who's giving you the motivation because they feel a sense of need to caring for you all the time, and also for the person who feels that sense, because if only one person is keeping you alive, then girl, what's the solution? I don't know. Therapy? Therapy's expensive. I don't have therapy. Violet's whole thing is that she's counting down the days until she can go to college, and her whole thought process is she'll be free.
I'm sick of that shit.
and not like living her life in the moment. So Finch wants to, and Violet wants to race forward in life and not experience it in the now. Let's see what I say. Which is this? And this is also for sure. Hanging open, just blue fluffy flowers like that. And it's raining minutes, warming, very warming forever. And if that's not gay, I don't know what is. As someone who has first-hand experience,
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
the amount of times this book says Indiana, just in case you forgot, they're in Indiana. By this point, I'm to the realization that basically every YA book is the same, especially romance around 2014. They kind of all have the same pipeline character archetypes, where there's this one girl, White. She's not like other girls. She reads. She's smart, and she's going to die. And then she meets a guy who's also white, and he's tall and handsome, and he's not like other guys because he's smart and he knows about existentialism, and he wants to make a lasting impact on the world. Does that sound familiar to you? That's because this is John Green's The Fault in Our Stars. This is the same book. The Fault in Our Stars came out in 2014. This book, I think it came out in 2015. They are the same book. I'm reading the same book I read in grade 9. Finch is Augustus. Theodore Finch, In Search of the Great Manifesto. Tell me that's not Augustus Waters. That is Augustus Waters. All he's missing is the fake leg. He's got a different kind of disease and cancer. He's got depression. If it seems like I'm making light of depression, it's because I am. Let me cope. So basically, from a young age, Theodore was suicidal. Told his friend about it. I believe this is Romer who he's talking about, but I can't remember because I didn't care enough to remember. And he was like, I lying to myself, and I said, what the fuck? So he tried to told his family, and his family ended up telling everyone, and basically in school, found out that Theodore Finch was kind of weird. So he was kind of opening up to Violet about this, and that's when I kind of started to feel empathy for Theodore. Because to this point, I didn't like him too much because he was kind of annoying. But I love Theodore, honestly. Now that I kind of see that he's just like me.
I'm just like you. You are? You're just like me. There's somewhere else we...
Fast forward, they get a little closer, you know, friends, if you will. They're starting to have like romantic feelings for each other, but Violet's kind of in denial. Another gripe I have with this book is the use of slurs. Tell me why there is not one singular canonly gay character other than possibly Violet, a bisexual queen, and they're still using F slurs in this book. Miss Jennifer Nealon. Miss Jennifer. Miss Jennifer. I'm coming for you, because why are you using the F slur? Twice. So not only is it a slur, it's like a misused slur. That's double homicide. Finch likes to swim. He's a little bit of a fish, an amphibian if you will. He swims in lakes, and then he brought Violet into a lake to swim with him. They're all wet and cold because it's like February. So they go back to his house to take a little shower, you know, get clean. This is one of the scenes. He takes my hand and spins me out, so I'm tucked against him, and we sway and rock a little, but mostly stand still, pressed together, my heart pounding, because if I tilt my head back, just like this, he would kiss me, like he's doing now. I can feel his lips curved up at the corners, smiling. I open my eyes at the moment he opens his, and his blue eyes are shining so fierce and bright that they're nearly black. The damp hair is falling across his forehead, and he rests his head against mine, and then I realize his towel is lying on the floor, and he's naked. And I laughed. I laughed out loud. I-L-O-L-E-D. I lulled. Because what the James.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.
Book is so unserious. For a book about sewer slide, this book is so unserious, and I can't. I simply cannot. Literature. I broke something. That's fine. This is fine. There's a scene where Finch stays up because Violet didn't respond to his text, and he just sleeps on her lawn.
Trying to let you know.
Excuse me, what? He sleeps on her lawn, and then she comes out in the morning and she's like, what the fuck are you doing at my house? And he's like, you didn't reply. And she's like, yeah, why are you on my lawn? Like, hello? This is where I would say, if you or someone you know is expressing suicidal thoughts, go check out Kids Help Phone or whatever. I don't even take my own advice. You do you, queen. Speak your truth. In this point of time, we're far into the book, almost at the end. Finch is going through it. He's in the trenches. He's World War I, Vietnam War, War of 1812, veteran. This is it, and he's going through it. Anyways, Romer, the bully, who I thought was Ryan, they are not the same person. Romer chokes out Finch, and he snaps because he's like, why are you bullying me? Stop bullying me, man. And then he chokes out Romer, and he's beating the shit out of him. Finch gets dragged away. It's a full-on school fight. I've never witnessed a school fight before. It's on my bucket list. Finch gets expelled because you can't be doing that, Finch.
Say she love me, which one? Love, see, I like. Yeah, she call me.
He really like contemplated Susan. He was like, psych, not today. And he goes to the hospital, gets his stomach pumped, and Finch is like, you know what? I gotta get better. I gotta take my mental health into my own hands. He takes it upon himself to go to a circle community, think AA, but make it teenagers. But guess what? Guess who he sees there? Amanda. Context. Amanda is Violet's friend, but they're not like super friends. They're like kind of friends. Amanda is kind of like a mean girl. You would never expect Amanda to be experiencing big sad. Finch is like, oh shit, Amanda's here. And Amanda's like, don't tell anyone I'm here, bro. And I won't tell anyone you're here. And Finch is like, just don't tell Violet. And so she tells Violet. Violet comes over because Amanda tells her she's worried. She wants to like make sure he's okay. She comes over, she realizes that his room is basically empty. He's giving away all his things, which if you know, that's something that a lot of people with the big sad do when they are getting ready to go. Rightfully so. Violet is very worried and she's like, what's going on? Are you okay, bro? And he's like, I'm fine. He's not fine. So again, if you see anyone doing that, check in, you know, get them some help. So then we're in like the third act of the book. This is a quote from a conversation that Violet has with Finch because she knows about the thing that Amanda told her and she's scared for him. And then she says this. This made me feel a little something in my heart. Like I said, everyone out here is feeling suicidal. It wasn't necessarily triggering, but it was enough to take a step back and be like, okay, this is sad. This is sad. This is a sad book. Usually it takes a lot for books to make me feel things, and this book made me feel something. So good job, Jennifer. Okay, this is a quote like the page after. Listen, I'm the freak. I'm the weirdo. I'm the troublemaker. I start fights. I let people down.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in, and I don't want to fit in. Have you ever seen me without this stupid hat on? That's weird.
First of all, okay, Jughead Jones. Second of all, ooh, he's going through it. And this is when Violet and Finch break up. We are on our third last grade. It's time to wrap this up. By this point, Finch is ghosting Violet, and he's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. One day, Finch's sister is like, help, my brother sent me a weird note. Do you know anything about this? It's a sewer slide note. Finch sent one to Violet too. He sent one to almost all his love friends, but guess what? Finch is dead. Earlier in the book, they went to a spot where they would swim together, and Finch went swimming. He did not survive. This made me feel a little bit sad, but then it didn't because this book is so unserious. R.I.P. Finch, we love you. Well, maybe not Violet, because her dad, who hates Finch, is like,
no. That's me if I gave a fuck, but girl.
So when he's dead, he just gives zero fuck. Violet has to go to counseling with Finch's old guidance counselor, and he says this. I'm sorry about Finch. He was a good, screwed up kid who should have had more help. This gets my attention. Then he adds, I feel responsible. I want to send his computer and books crashing to the floor. You can't feel responsible. I am responsible. Don't try to take that from me. And I'm like, Violet Queen. Is this the Depression Olympics? This is not about you, Queen. Then a few days later, she comes to the realization that she has not been marking her calendar to check off the days where she has been waiting to graduate and go to university. I love that. That's her character development. She's gone on a journey to see the places where Finch has gone when he was gone. It's all the places that they plan to go together, all the bright places, if you will. Kind of a full circle moment. She kind of just learned to live for herself, even though Eleanor, her sister, died. Begin to move on from the fact that her sister will never see her grow up, but that doesn't mean that she can't grow up anyway. Yeah, so that's the end of the story. Final thoughts. I like the book. I'm not really a hater. I've never really, well, I have, but I don't usually read books and dislike them. I usually have like a reason to like a book, you know. They're all good in their own way. I loved Finch as a character, not so much Violet, just because I found her kind of insufferable, very selfish. Finch was a little bit selfish too, and he didn't really respect the rights of Violet, but at least he was like an interesting person. I would rate it about 3 out of 5 stars because it still had like a cool storyline. I didn't like the slurs in the book. That was random. Okay, let me show you my look when I'm done. This is the final look. I put on fake lashes and fixed my lip a little bit. Shit, I forgot to be emo. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. I almost forgot. Okay, so I think I will probably do this again. I think it was fun. I look forward to editing it more than actually filming it. I might do my next one on All the Light You Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, I think, because I'm reading that for school. And I might as well do a video on it if I'm gonna read it anyway. I think this is gonna be like a diary for me, like a video diary. It's kind of talking to myself. It's kind of cool. I will see myself next time.